Oh hey, guess where we are? We're washing up again, people. For every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job keeps happening. Today, unlike the other days in this 40 Questions with Lena series, isn't really directly an answer to any of your questions. It is a response, however, to the amount of questions I've been getting about love lives in general, because I can't answer them all. I can have some empathy and I can guess what to do, but there's lots of things that I just don't know enough information about you guys to answer, and that's cool, and I can send you good vibes and be like, think about these things, but it's ultimately irresponsible for me to give you direct advice, I think. But what I did want to do is talk about some of the shitty advice I have been given in the past about love and unpack why I think it's shitty. So going chronologically, a thing that you're told a lot growing up by magazines, by friends, by teachers is like, brief water interlude. Before you love anyone, you've got to love yourself. Or worse phrasing, if you don't love yourself, nobody will love you. If you've met more than 3 adults, you can call bullshit on this with me. How many people are moving through the world with obvious self-loathing in their hearts, being mean and irrational and rude? Somebody loves them. They are probably married. It also, for people who don't feel like they love themselves yet, but are working on it, it kind of can add a little extra layer of self-hatred, because it's not only like, oh, the reason that I can't get this job, or the reason that I can't pass my exams, or the reason I don't have many friends is because I can't love myself, I'm ugly, or I'm stupid. It's also the reason I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. How horrific. Will you probably have better relationships if you love yourself and have an independent sense of security in who you are? Yes. But that's a longer sentence and people don't like to say that. Also, the interesting truth, I think, is that sometimes being in a relationship with somebody who is genuinely sound can help you love yourself. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Should we leave that to ourselves to work out? Or are there ways, or is there a middle ground somewhere where actually you don't have to have all of your validation coming from within inside yourself, who I am inside? Second thing, breaking up with somebody. I never liked them anyway. I think they were a bastard. Oh, they weren't right for you. Oh, I hate them so much. Let's spend a whole evening thinking about all the rubbish reasons why you hate that person. It will help you get over them. I think this depends on whether you genuinely think you're dating people because they are actually the best person in the world, which I think is insanely arrogant on your part. You have to know that the person that you're dating is the best person in the world for you. They're not inherently the best person in the world. So when you're not with that person, when they've dumped you or you've dumped them, listing all of the reasons why they're generally an awful person is one, kind of mean. If I believed in chakras, I'd say it would probably make your chakra a bit grey or dark blue. And also, it's not really addressing the issue, is it? Like, you can talk about, oh, they were so wrong for me because this is what I want out of a relationship and they really didn't want that. Or they're so wrong for me because this is how I believe people should be in relationships and they just weren't like that. That's helpful to remember. But just thinking they're a horrible person or creating all these extra devilish things about them is really dangerous, because it means if you see some evidence that they have fixed those things, or you think that you were wrong and actually they're not as lazy or boring as you thought they were, you'll get back together with them. And that might be the best thing. I think sometimes it's really easy to jump on the bandwagon of helping somebody get over a breakup by dissing the person that they've broken up with. Unless obviously the person they've broken up with has actually been abusive to them, in which case, diss away. But just saying, you know, oh, I didn't think they were as good looking as you, or oh, I never thought they suited you, one, invalidates their relationship and makes them feel like shit about the relationship they did have, because it could have been perfect at the time and it could have really suited the situation, and now it just doesn't. It also completely bite you in the ass if they get back together with them. And the third bit of shit advice that I want to talk about is when somebody says they don't like you, always believe them. Always believe them. Like, I think some people can be like, oh, well, you never know, they can't see what's in front of them, or like they're just blinded right now, or maybe they're just scared to tell you how they feel. They've probably told you exactly how they feel. And apathy is a hard emotion to believe because it's not a strong one, but it's also the safest bet at a real answer. I wish I hadn't listened to myself when I said that I fancy people, they don't fancy you back, and you're like, oh no, well maybe in a few days, maybe in a few years, maybe after a few parties, maybe after I've lost a little weight, maybe after they're in a better place emotionally, maybe after, and before you know it, it has been years. cares? I think the biggest dignity you can give to somebody is to believe them when they say no. And don't write a little narrative in your head thinking about how no means maybe. Even if that's romantically, even if they're your best friend, that is still absolute asshole behaviour. That is something nobody told me. Also, you deserve to be with somebody who can instantly, whatever situation they're in, go, yes, it's actually worth being with you. Like, I'm not going to pass up this opportunity. I think you're brilliant. Rather than it's not really right for me right now. That is not the wholehearted enthusiasm I think you might be looking for. Still haven't finished this wash-up. What received wisdom have you got from the world that you have grown up to think is absolute pile of horse poo? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. This video is part of a 40 video series during Lent. You can watch the playlist right here, and I will see you tomorrow. Frog Snug out.